Okay, so hi guys, welcome back to the channel. As you know, this is a don't know why I just said that. Okay, start again. Today we're going to be taking apart, well, reshelling a Xbox 360 controller, and yeah, I have this incredibly nasty 360 controller, as you can see here. Let me just take it up to the camera. This thing is gross. So yeah. Incredibly dirty, so we're going to swap it out with this nice new clear shell I have down here, which is fairly nice, to be fair, considering it's from, I think it was from China or somewhere. But so let's get started. Also, I have a bonus part of this video. I actually received the heatsink for the 478 computer, so we're going to be installing that in this video as well. Just a little addendum because I didn't want to have a whole separate video devoted to that, because I still don't have all the parts for that. I still need some Molex pigtails and a AGP graphics card and a hard drive, which I don't know how I'm gonna solve the hard drive issue, because I want to use SATA, but I don't know if it's gonna act weird with it. But anyway, so I digress. So what you need to do first, well, this is going to be a bit of a weird tutorial, but I have this incredibly nasty controller. You flip it over, you've got 7 screw holes in the back. There's a secret screw hidden under this sticker, and you just undo all them and you can butterfly the controller open. If you want, because this controller was incredibly nasty, I just dumped all the buttons out of it because it is completely nasty inside here. So just gonna put that down there. Okay, so once you butterfly that open, you just open it up and you'll have the actual board itself. There'll be some other pieces on the other side, you just don't worry about that. The membranes will hold most of it in, and you would place it upside down if you want to keep the buttons, but I don't. So yeah, as you can see, there's a circuit board. You've got the 2 rumble motors here, and we'll just flip this over and you'll see it has that screw goes into the direct back of it and holds the circuit board to the other side. So we're just going to push the spring contacts of the battery out, and the thing should lever out. So we've got the actual circuit board itself, and there we go. So you've got the circuit board and the triggers and the rumble motors. So what we're going to do now is we're going to swap the triggers over for something a little bit more nice. As you can see, the nastiness of the triggers. As you can see here, you've got an actuator. This is the actual actuator arm, and you've got what look like 2 little hooks on this side. So you're just going to slide it out this way on each side. So on this side it'll be this way, I think. So yeah, well, here goes nothing. Take a screwdriver, go in through the side and just sort of lever this bit out of the way. You need to, I don't know how I'm going to do this, it's going to look weird on camera. Okay. I need to disconnect this actuator here, so I'm going to use my thumbnail and just slowly, there we go. There is going to be a spring in here, so be careful of the spring. I'm going to try and get the best of this on camera. Don't know how I'm going to do it though. This is on the spring tension, so be careful. The spring might fly out and hit you. So we're just going to splay this with our fingernails. Okay, there we go. As you can see, it's released properly, and we can slide it off. I'll just grab that spring first. That one, sketchy mofo. Okay, so I've got the spring removed. Just pull it out, you're going to need to reuse the spring. So I did this one at a time, so this should be easier. Okay, as you can see, with the spring, let me just take that off like that. That's trigger gone. So we'll put that over there with the rest of the garbage. And what is it? There we are. Okay, so now I'm going to have to do a part where I can't show you on camera, because this is on the stock controller. It has these little wings that hold the thumbstick, the triggers in. So, oh my god, I'm getting flustered now. Okay, so we got to just line this up. So you just sort of do that. Let me show you again. So as you can see, I've got the controller here. Put the first one on first, then you sort of slip it on. That's it, perfect. Okay. Now, for this next part, because this is missing the pieces on the trigger ears, you have to put the spring. You have to put the spring inside the trigger whilst trying to line up the. There's a spring post in there, as you can see on both sides. So this is such a janky setup. I'm just going to do it and I'm going to show you. Okay, so just. So you have to be such a douchebag. This might be the worst video of all time for me, but it shouldn't be that bad. Screen there. Okay, so that's that. Dang it. Okay, after 2 minutes of struggling with that, I actually got it done. As I reiterate, you just release this side and then you can splay these two connectors, not connectors, pieces of plastic, and then the trigger will come out with the spring. Okay, so just reassembly, just the reverse of that. I don't know how to best explain it, but you can catch my drift. Okay, so we have that part done, which is the most annoying part of the thing. So, what's next? Okay, so now we're going to start by putting the buttons actually inside the shell. We're going to start installing the buttons. This piece here, you have to. It's the light ring from the original controller, so you just line it up and push it in, and it should line up properly. So as you can see, it's got the black inside, which spreads the light a bit more. I don't know why, but it just does. So I have the original 360 controller button. I'm just going to line this up. That's the wrong way. So line that up. It's probably, as you can see, probably lined up 360. Okay. So now we just put the rest of the buttons in. I don't actually remember the 360 layout off the top of my head, so I'm just going to grab my old 360 controller and use that as a guide. So here's our 360 controller, so we're going to use this as a guide. So I know this is bad, me not knowing this, but to each its own as it is. So wires on top. X is to the other side and the inside. Should be right. Yep, there we are. B is on the outside. Yep, there we go. Sure you can see this. Yeah, you can see this. B is on the outside and A is on the bottom. Okay, alright, now, there we go. Now we just, I don't know how to best show this. If I just leave it like that. Better. Okay, so now I need to put select the start and back buttons in. So these are the membranes for the buttons. When I took these out of the original controller, I just cleaned them with a paintbrush. Just a clean paintbrush, and then just sort of like do that, and it'll get a little dust off it. I don't know if you can wash these. I haven't tried it, so I did actually try to wash the D-pad from the original 360 controller, which is the actual original grey one, and it came out quite well. So I'm going to reuse this D-pad because I have the screws for it. The weird thing is, with this shell, they didn't send me the screws with it, so I don't know if I'm meant to use the original screws. We'll just find out. So yeah, it's my experiment. You don't have to worry about it. So we can put the membranes on. Membranes can only go on one way, so you can't really mess this up. So yeah. stand up and show you this. Okay, that's a weird angle. So we just line this up. There's no real weird way to screw this up. We just line the membranes. Push it down a bit. And that's the membranes installed, I think. As you can see, you have all the buttons installed. I'm not going to press it now because all the buttons will fall out, but that's the membranes installed. Now, let's get to, what's next? Let's get to the D-pad. So D-pad is two pieces. D-pad goes here. It's two pieces. As you can see, they're just interconnected on the inside. So this piece goes on one side. It's actually keyed, so you can't really get it wrong. All the buttons are keyed in this, so you can't put them in the wrong way. Because I think that's how it is. So we just put that in and try and line it up with the keys on the inside. Where that's meant to go. Okay, so this side just has these tabs and you can screw it in. So I'm just going to go from the other side. When you push it together you should hear them snap. So there we go, D-pad installed. Now here you put the screws into the D-pad. D-pad screws are these tiny tings. So you've got screw holes on the inside, but we're just going to do that up now off camera, so I'll pause it here and I'll bring it back to you. Okay, so D-pad installed. I got the screws in. The reason why I paused it, I'm sure you don't want to see 3 minutes of me trying to struggle with screws, so I don't think that's very entertaining for the viewer. So we're just going to put the button pad on the D-pad. D-pad button pad only goes in one way. As you can see, there's a hole at the bottom that corresponds with a hole here. I'll put a post here. So we're just going to line that up with the post and sort of put it on. So there we go. D-pad installed. The controller's actually looking like a real controller now. So next step is the thumbsticks on the actual thing itself. So I'm going to flip this over. Here we have two clear thumbsticks to go with the EFO. So I wanted to go with something different like red, but there was no option for red. So these only go on one way. They're keyed as well. They've got like a weird shape, so you can't really put them on the wrong way. That looks about it. Now if these feel like you have to force them on, just do it. They're not really going to break anything. Just really weird, so we just force that on and it's alright. The aftermarket ones are going to feel a bit stiff. Normal ones don't. I'll show you. This is one of the original thumbsticks from that janky white controller this is originally from. So this is the original one. It slides on fine, literally perfectly. So there's literally no resistance trying to put that on. But the aftermarket ones are going to have a little resistance, so just don't be afraid to force it on. A little bit of force. Problem is, this is a weird angle to do this from. So there we go, forced on. There we go, lovely, nice and lined up. The reason why this one's a little bit lighter, I tried to fix the controller originally and I messed it up. I used the wrong thumbsticks for it. I used the PS3's joysticks from an aftermarket controller, and it wouldn't fit. So in my divine wisdom, I thought, oh no, I'll heat up a nail and then melt it in. That did not work. So yeah, this is why I'm doing this video now, because this controller was completely messed up when I had to go at it. So what's next? Next should be the actual the other side. We need to get this part done, which is the buttons, the right bumpers and the left bumpers, and this sync button. So we'll do that now. Literally, you take these two pieces. This is the sync button. There's a piece you have to put inside the sync button, which is the actual bud itself. So as you can see, this is not going to look good because it's a clear shell. The worst thing I could pick for filming this, but you catch my drift anyway. There's a button you have to put in there. Apparently, that bar might pop out, so I don't know how that's going to work. But you literally just, there's two posts here, and this has two holes in it, so you just line this up, and it should go something like this. And that's together now. So just put this in the top of the shell, and this has two corresponding holes on the other side, which has another set of posts on the shell. If you can see my finger there and there. So these just go together like this. Okay. A little bit of plastic. A bit of plastic on the inside of this. So there you go, that's it. Okay, pop in like that, and there we go, there are all the bumpers in place. So we're done with this weird install. It's looking quite nice, so the sync button's still there, good. Okay, so the next step is, if I believe correctly, it is just putting this bit back in first and then putting in the other side. Don't know how that's going to work, but we'll see, because we have this 100%, so we're going to try it. So my head gets in the way of this, so I'm just going to line up the rumble packs first, and then we'll see. Okay, so rumble over there. Okay, I missed a step. We're meant to put this bit in first, so we have to pull this apart and put it back. God dang it. Like I didn't firmly place that inside, so we're just going to put this back out. There you go, rumble motor. Okay, so we need to put this bit in, which is the grey bit that goes underneath all Xbox controllers, which I forgot, so just going to stand up. This lines up with a few places, and this is what happens when you don't get a professional to do this, and you just got me, so yep, that lines up perfectly. I wonder what I was going in too well. Okay, so it's all lined up. There's just a couple of points where this lines up, so that's it, done. Making weird noises, but now we just repeat what we just did. I'm going to do this off camera because I just did it a minute ago, so you can gather what I just did. It's going to be the most jump cut video ever. So yeah, I got it in. I redid the button here. Excuse me. Okay, so that's done. Basically, we just need to hold that there. Then we need to get the shell, the other side, and just line it up, and it should be good. Oh, damn it. That's it, done. Our Clear 360 controller is complete. We just need to put the screws in now. We did it off camera just to check they actually fit. If they don't, I'll do an update and then we'll get to installing the Focket socket. What the fuck is a Focket? Socket 478 cooler. I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay, so we're finished. the controller does actually work. I'll show you now just by turning on my Xbox. Got the battery pack here. You can actually reuse the screws in this particular shell. The ones that came from the other Xbox shell. So those are T something Torx bits, security Torx. They have a pin in the inside, so you have to get a screwdriver for that. I happen to have a screwdriver for that. So there you go. Show you that. Okay, so controller in, button on, and boom. As you can hear, my Xbox is turning on. I'll just turn that off real quick, just so it doesn't make a loud noise. We'll get to the install of the. I have tested it. It does go through all the functions and stuff, and other things. So I'll probably do a test on that later. But and if you doubt how disgusting this controller was, you're now about to probably lose your lunch. Those are the buttons on the controller. Yeah, pretty nasty. So yeah, we're gonna burn them and then say a prayer, but we'll wait for that. So I have this AK-Sir heatsink for the 478 build. Comes with the mounting brackets and stuff. So I'm just going to quickly unbox this. I'll just get you in focus so you can see it. So if you can see my head or something, I don't really know how to. Okay, grab that. That's the actual cover for the thermal compound. Okay, so there we go. It's got pre-applied thermal compound. We're going to use that. So let's get the 478 build out of the place. Okay guys, so I was doing it right. I had to take the motherboard outside the computer. You just sort of like, as you can see here, better view of the motherboard. That plastic piece there has loops on the top, and you sort of like lever this metal piece over it and then force it down. You have to do it with this button here, but it does go on, and I'm going to test it in a minute. So thank you guys so much for watching this video of the controller rebuild, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.